Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. 6 words that didn't just change the moment, they changed everything. You have to go now. No arguments. So here's what went down. Inside the Cliff House, things went from tense to absolutely terrifying in a matter of minutes. Steffi realized the danger that was way bigger than anyone expected. And in a split second of decision, she ordered Ivy and Electra to leave immediately. No discussion, no hesitation, just survival. And the reason, Dylan and the horrifying truth about who he really is. Alright, let me walk you through this because honestly, this whole situation feels like a ticking time bomb that finally exploded. The energy inside that cliff house was already off. You know that feeling when something isn't right, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Yeah, that was the vibe. And then suddenly, Steffi snapped into full protective mode. Her voice wasn't just firm, it was shaking, emotional, intense. You could see it in her eyes fear, anger, and that deep instinct that something terrible was about to happen. And then she said it. Those 6 words, not loud, not dramatic, but sharp enough to cut through the room like glass. You have to go, now, no arguments. And just like that, everything stopped. Ivy froze completely, like her body just refused to process what was happening. Electra, her hands were trembling so badly she could barely hold herself together. Because deep down, both of them knew this wasn't just Steffi being dramatic. This wasn't family drama anymore. This was something darker, something dangerous. Now rewind a few hours earlier, because that's where things are really started to fall apart. At that point, everything still felt manageable, complicated, sure, messy, yes, but not dangerous, not life threatening, until Electra made a discovery she was never supposed to make. She had already been uneasy about Dylan. Something about him didn't sit right. His behavior, his energy, it was just off. But what she found, took that uneasiness and turned it into pure fear. Hidden files, encrypted messages, things that didn't make sense at first, but when they started connecting, it painted a terrifying picture. Dylan wasn't just keeping secrets, he was living a completely different life. And not just that, he was planning something carefully, strategically, something that felt dangerous. When Electra brought it to Ivy, hoping maybe, just maybe, there was an explanation. Ivy didn't comfort her, instead, she admitted something that made everything worse. She had felt it too. That same strange vibe. That feeling that Dylan was too perfect, too controlled, like he was performing all the time. But even then, neither of them were ready for just how bad it really was. Then Steffi got involved, and everything escalated instantly. You know, Steffi, when it comes to her family, she doesn't play around. The second she sensed something was wrong, she went into full protection mode. No hesitation, no second guessing. She demanded answers. And what they uncovered next? Honestly, chilling. Dylan had been watching them, tracking them, learning their routines. But the worst part, he had been getting close to the kids, gaining their trust. Let that sink in for a second. That's when it hit Steffi. This wasn't a maybe situation anymore. This wasn't paranoia. This was real, immediate, dangerous. And then came the confrontation. Emotions exploded. Accusations flew everywhere. The tense of safety they once had completely shattered. Electra broke down, blaming herself for ignoring the signs. She kept thinking about all the moments she brushed off, all the times she chose to believe in the good she thought she saw in Dylan. Ivy. She was drowning in guilt too, feeling like she should have stepped in sooner, like maybe she could have stopped this before it got this far. But Steffi, she didn't have time for guilt. She didn't have time for what ifs. Her mind was already made up. Because when it comes to her kids, there is no risk she's willing to take. So she looked at Ivy and Electra, shocked for just a second, and then completely unbreakable. And she told them They had to leave Los Angeles immediately. No debate, no delay. Because as long as Dylan was out there, they were not safe. Those words hit hard. Ivy was in tears. Electra felt like her entire world was being ripped away. But deep down, they both knew Steffi was right. And here's the scary part. While all of this was happening, Dylan was already ahead of them, watching, waiting, still in control. As the women scrambled to figure out what to do, that feeling of being haunted just kept getting stronger. Every second felt heavier, every decision felt urgent. Steffi didn't waste time. She started making calls, pulling strings, setting up a plan to get them out safely, quietly, quickly. No trace. Because she knew this wasn't over, not even close. And then came that quiet moment before they left. Ivy, barely holding it together, asked the question that was sitting in everyone's chest. What if he finds us? And Steffi didn't hesitate. Her answer was cold, strong, and filled with pure determination. Then he will regret it. That wasn't just reassurance, that was a promise. By the time dawn started creeping in, the house felt heavy with emotion. The goodbyes heartbreaking, tears, hugs, silence. The kind of silence that says everything without saying a word. Electra paused at the door, looked back. You could see it in her face, fear, uncertainty, heartbreak. But then she looked at Steffi, and Steffi didn't flinch. That look alone gave her the strength to walk away. Because this wasn't just leaving, this was survival. The car pulled away, taking Ivy and Electra out of immediate danger, but straight into the unknown. And Steffi, she stayed behind, alone, but stronger than ever, because she knew something no one else wanted to admit. The real fight hadn't even started yet. Dylan's secret was out, but his full plan still hidden. And underestimating someone like him, that could cost everything. This whole situation completely shifts the story into something darker and way more intense. This isn't just relationship drama or family tension anymore. This is psychological, strategic, and honestly dangerous on a whole new level. Dylan isn't just a troubled guy, he's calculated, patient, and already steps ahead, which makes him incredibly unpredictable. Steffi's decision changes everything. By sending Ivy and Electra away, she's not just protecting them, she's drawing a line. She's basically saying, "This ends with me," and that creates a whole new dynamic where she becomes the central force standing against whatever Dylan is planning. At the same time, this also isolates her. She's carrying the weight alone now, and that kind of pressure, it can either make someone stronger or completely break them. And let's not forget, the biggest question here is still unanswered. What exactly is Dylan planning? Because whatever it is, it's clearly not over. I'm not even gonna lie, this gave me chills. The moment Steffi said those 6 words, I felt that because you could tell it wasn't just fear talking, it was instinct. That deep, unshakable feeling that something is very, very wrong. And honestly, I respect her decision. It was brutal, it was painful, but it was necessary. When kids are involved, you don't take chances, you act. And that's exactly what she did. But at the same time, I can't stop thinking about Ivy and Electra. Imagine being forced to leave everything behind overnight, not knowing if you will ever come back, not knowing if you are actually safe. That kind of fear sticks with you. And Dylan, yeah, he's the kind of character that makes things seriously uncomfortable. Because he's not loud or obvious, he's quite controlled, and that's what makes him dangerous. So now everything has changed. Ivy and Electra are gone, Steffi is standing her ground, and Dylan is still out there somewhere, watching, waiting, planning his next move. And the real question is, what happens next? Do you think Steffi made the right call, sending them away? Or should they have stayed and faced this together? And what do you think Dylan is actually planning? How deep does this go? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I really want to hear your theories on this one. And if you are as hooked on this storyline as I am, don't forget to like the video and subscribe because trust me, this is only the beginning.